can I say? What can I do? All my feelings point back to you. How do I live? How do I choose? The fork roads make me lose. Out on my own, without a soul. Out on a stroll, make me feel whole, make me feel whole again. Make me feel whole again. Make me feel whole again. Make me feel Make me feel whole again.
Hey guys, welcome in. Welcome Lambert, welcome Katila. Honestly, Katila, I'm very happy. I'm happy that both of you are here. But I'm specifically very happy that you, Katila, are here. Since it's a little earlier than my usual stream time, I was worried that you wouldn't have time to watch. But it's super happy. I'm super happy that you are here. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm okay. A little stressed, honestly. Don't have a live? Awesome. I have too much of one right now. Usually I don't have a live either. No. Yeah. Yes, streaming yesterday evening, not happening. These courses, ugh. It's just so... I mean, the thing is, I didn't really learn that much new stuff because I basically learned all the stuff in school. It's just so draining to hear all the, from my point of view, kind of stupid questions sometimes, and it's just the whole thing is a lot to handle. Anyway, today, yes, I have about 4 hours, more or less 4 hours, I can stream. Because in the evening I'm meeting a friend and we're going to watch the musical Chicago. I initially forgot that on Monday that I had that planned. It was something that happened over the weekend. But yeah, we have that. So we're about 4 hours and we'll make sure we get as much as Beacon Pines done as we can. And yeah, I mean, maybe we finish today. And if not, next time. Alrighty. And yeah, honestly, there's some family stuff going on, but I don't want to talk about it because if I don't talk about it, I don't think about it, and if I don't think about it, it doesn't fuck up my brain. C'est pour tango me up. Alright, weekend pints. I'm hyped. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to Beacon Pines. Let's see where we had save. Okay. So we have to do a little double. Hey YouTube.
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
Alright, you slept straight through breakfast. Luca, are you alright? I'm just gonna read it again. I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
Alright. I'm gonna double check it. Also, I'm using... Okay. You know what? I will give you, since we had that issue last time with chat, I will give you the color block. Makes it a little easier to read chat. The thing is, I usually don't do it because I don't really need it, and I mean, often I don't need it because the games aren't as bright, and if the games are bright, then I don't have any challenge. So, what we're gonna do today? Chicago is a flawless representation of the politics of my hometown. No notes. Interesting, Lambrecht. Then I guess I will learn a lot about your hometown tonight. Now let me quickly check. I think I checked last time that we had no. Yeah, except for that one. No new alternatives. Alright, Rollo's still gonna go to the festival. It's gonna be miserable. You are miserable. Can I kick it out the room? I guess not.
Luca dozed off again.
Oh! Luca! I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Thanks. Rollo came by. What did he say? He wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So, your plan is just to sit in your room all day? Pretty much. Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'd do you some good. Know that.
Luca still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rollo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
Harsh but true. Okay, so I didn't try that earlier. Now I wanted to try it first thing. Rollo thinks I'm still going to the festival with him. He can shove it. Alright, so we're actually stalking in a room. There's never anything interesting at the festival anyway. Maybe Grang could help us regulate our missions. There we go. Yeah, maybe.
The
Guess what are
Adventures
the
of
demands to be
Hank
made?
Atomic.
The complete first volume.
Luca carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rollo had received it for his birthday. A special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rollo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rollo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind.
Yeah, whatever the reason, it's cute.
But it had stayed right there where Rollo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Luca? Yes, you want. You too. Kiss and makeup. Another little friend came to see you. Oh, Beck? A girl named Beck Moodwell. She said you met yesterday? What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh. She seems nice. Yeah. You had a fight with Rollo, didn't you? Can I come in? I mean, technically it's your room too, Grand, but very nice that you're asking. Very considerate, I like it. Maybe later. Alright then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table. In case you want to bite before bedtime.
Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luca stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source.
Source?
Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame, see? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself. Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves?
You shitting me? I mean, I know this is a dream or like a nightmare, but like, really?
The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them. Not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper.
Hey, Caleb, welcome in.
Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within.
Okay, we know who the person in the hazmat suit really is, or yeah. But who could it be in the dream? Maybe Rollo? Maybe Luca himself?
Luca's own face looked back at him. Older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Luca staggered back. You aren't me.
Not yet.
Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Well, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames. In a flash of cold light, he was gone. What does all of this mean? Luca felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun.
Mom? No, dear. It's only Gran.
Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus.
How are you feeling? Fine. Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. That's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rollo thought about doesn't matter. But he...
Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
Fights between friends happen. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. But he said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. Did you mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments and accept them in the worst. Now get your little butt out of bed. The festival's today. You don't want to miss that, do you? I guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rollo, doesn't it?
Luca gave a reluctant nod.
So buy him a corn dog and apologize. A corn dog? I'm surprised that even exists in this universe. Wouldn't that be considered cannibalism? But he's the one that... What did I just say? Buy him a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. Is eating chocolates and No, I mean, this is a world where basically everyone is animals. So if you eat a corn dog, I mean, it's not a dog, but you get me? I have to accept try and feel like I could use it. Yeah, I think you could all use that accept charm. I need to get going now. I wonder if Gran and the other twos had planned. I don't think there's anything malicious going on with them. I got some last minute festival business to take care of. I'll come find you at the fountain a little later, a little after lunch. Also, there's a pig guy, yeah. Alright. I love you, Luca. I love you too. I love you too, Gran.
Luca took a deep breath.
Okay.
Chapter 6. Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rollo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air. But the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rollo.
And just because I'm so freaking curious. Still no new choices. Ah, there you are. Luca, Will wanted me to tell you something. What is it?
Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head.
A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy? I don't. It's a riddle, Luca. My goofy little brother wanted to find him.
Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt.
Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing him this one favor. Now I need one favor from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. Space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. I mean, space adventure makes me think of the tree house. If ye be brave, go somewhere quiet. I mean, it's honestly, I don't think it's a treehouse again. And again, how many quiet places are there? Come on, give me something! Give me a charm for that. If there's not a charm, then what is this for? Do all of the pig guy were the one selling the corn dogs? That would be, yeah. Alright, you girls. I don't know who Perennial Harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival. Totally. The town's still falling apart. The weather's still cruddy. And this season's harvest looks like it's gonna be worse than last year's. You said it. No amount of corporate pandering is gonna change any of that. Exactly. But the lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty. Fizz. I'm still gonna be mad at them. I'd just rather be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all. Wow. Priorities, girl. Welcome to our festival. Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kerr's speech. At the Perennial Harvest Festival sign reveal. Oh yeah, that's also something. We know that Solomon had someone else mess with the sign. You don't want to miss it. So the sign reveal will be interesting. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as an XQVI. And it's just not the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. I'm sure there's somewhere, I'm sure there's some... Girl, read! I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Or maybe the area is just poisoned? Yeah, maybe that's it. Ain't moving. I respect that.
Jeff was
Jeff.
staring into the distance with a wistful look.
Hey Jeff, anything alright? Everything alright? Huh? Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, used to be fine. Just ain't right these days, you know? I really do, actually.
Jeff turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod.
You do, don't ya?
For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
Alright, this is a timeline where Iggy didn't get touched by the evil fertilizing aging liquid. I instantly want to abandon this timeline just because Iggy doesn't get bad karma here. So far, at least. Hahaha, every single time. Yep. Wait for it. Unexplained sound once again noted. Like clockwork. What a bunch of drones. Yeah, drones. They're robots or clones or something like that. They're not normal. Haha. The most welcoming of welcomes. Would you like to share your thoughts? Sure, why not? We always strive to improve. How about you piss out of town? That would be awesome. Nope. Okay. This is the first time I've seen this many smiling faces since the foul harvest. I had my doubts about perennial harvest. I still have my doubts about perennial harvest. But I must admit, they do put on a nice party. If Empire Palpatine puts up a nice party, he ain't a nice guy. Like, what the hell? What's that logic? Hey, Luca! How's Griffin doing? Who's Griffin again? What? Oh, nothing.
Sorry all became flesh.
Just pretend I didn't say anything. Okay. Who's Griffin again? Was that the studying girl? Is that her? No, that's Piper. Piper, you're actually taking a break from studying. I want to see what all the festival fuss was about. But I can't help but notice you still brought your backpack full of books. Luca, backpacks can carry a lot more than just books. True, true. So what you got in there? Books. I mean, true. I was able to return the perennial harvest safety suit you borrowed. I don't think anyone noticed. Same ties, by the way. Didn't notice that before. Both wearing yellow ties. Yellow or gold. Let's say yellow. And also, is the suit the same color? Could be. Good. Now will you tell me what you needed it for? It was a favor for an enemy of my enemy. This isn't going to harm Mr. Kerr, is it? All you need to know is that it's for the good of the family. A favor for an enemy of my enemy. I think it's funny how this game is mostly super cute and then suddenly there's a trash can with a corpse and her friend's kidnapped. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, you have a horrifying version of yourself. Luca, did you know that Beacon Pines is actually unincorporated? A lot of people don't know that. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know. What's that mean? It means most public works are handled internally. We do all the pipelines, the water treatment, building regulations. That's great. Who taping? Look at why are you taking a step back? Census taking. Okay. Emergency services smoothly removing yourself from the conversation. Okay. That's why you don't have good firefighters. Bye. Hey, Luca. So you're done at the library? Huh? Oh, nothing.
Griffin looked away suspiciously.
Nothing at all. Okay, I have two theories right now. I'm gonna slap the melon in a second. I have two theories right now. In that other timeline where we had where Rollo disappeared, Mr. Kerr came in at the end and told us that Rollo showed up and was back home. Now, we didn't see Rollo ourselves, so we'd have to trust his word, but his word is bullshit. But let's just pretend there was a Rollo who could have been a clone, a robot, let's say a robot version, like all the perennial harvest dudes with the clipboards are. Since we spent all of yesterday at home sulking and no one saw us, aside from our gran, what if Kerr thought that something happened to us and made a robot version of Luca in order to cover up a missing child. That's the first theory. The second theory is that we're on a very weird treasure hunt to find Rollo, where we talk to different people and they point to each other. So like the girls point to Griffin points to the library, and then someone in the library points to something else. No touching. Best chunk out of the History Museum is still that one movie.
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What you may not know is great towns grow from mighty...
Yeah, still that movie. Hey, Dawn. I've got a question for you. What do you think this whole festival is for? To pretend that perennial harvest is good for this town, so we don't question anything that they do. The way I think of it, perennial harvest is trying to win over the town. Dawn is super cute. I still think the penguin is cuter though. Like a bright, but well, with balloons. Luca and I share the same brain. Cynical. I like where your head's at. That's what I assumed at first too, until I eavesdropped on a couple of gossipy clipboards. What if I told you that this whole thing is really a special shindig for a super secret guest of honor? A special guest? Who? I haven't dug that deep yet, but whoever it is, PH thinks they're a big deal. Okay, perennial harvest. So who could be a big deal? Luca's mom, Beck's mom. Someone new we haven't seen before? Yes, the library. Okay, no Ricky liquid leaking out here. Still property of Valentine Fertilizer Company. Looks old. Okay, nothing back here. The library, somewhere quiet. I mean, if the library is the place I'm supposed to go, then let me go to the treehouse. Oh, of course, yeah, somewhere quiet, and you don't have to buy it. Nothing new here.
Luca Jankwood first.
Hi, Jace. Still working through the newest Hank Atomic? You know it. Some fascinating canon toward the end. Hey, no spoilers, dude. Did you know? What did I just say? Hank Atomic's shrink array doesn't technically shrink stuff, dude. It uses inverse quantum particle decay to literally grow the entire universe around an object, leaving that object unaltered. But it just looks shrunk compared to everything else. Bingo. That's wild. But Jace, no spoilers, please. Alright, sorry. Reminds me of certain people right now. Sorry to hear that. Hey, Luca.
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
I've been expecting you. Bravo on deciphering the first riddle. The first? Oh, you didn't think that was all, did you? Rollo does go all out, doesn't he?
Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing.
On planet Farpool, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Kato stared at Luca eagerly.
Get it? Want me to tell you? No, it's okay. Let me figure it out. Alright, when you find it, bring it here to be verified. If you decide you want a hint, the offer still stands. On planet Farpool, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Luca grabbed the 5 pillars of success from the shelf.
Once you got a book, you can either bring it here to me, or just grab a different one.
Luca grabbed the 5 pillars of success.
Okay,
Luca
5 pillars of
grabbed
success.
the issue with self-help, a helpful guide, from the shelf. Luca grabbed 500 meals for one big pot from the shelf. There were rarely any actual new, it's simply a variety of
Not for anyone, yeah.
Luca grabbed the modern science of atomic radiation from the shelf. Luca grabbed Natural Photography, Volume 5, from the shelf. Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
Ah, you found it.
Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book
Oh.
under the purple light, 2 words glowed. The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rollo's cipher pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Well, apparently he traded Jeff for his purple light bulb. Started with his entire parted with his entire Halloween candy stash. Damn. Oh, Rollo. That is so super sweet. Now let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
Get away with such a grift?
He continued flipping.
Isn't it beginning of summer? Just like me for real as a candy hoarder. I mean, maybe they were in Australia or something. Maybe summer actually starts in December. He continued flipping. Only found in grub. Card.
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it. Grift in grub card. Grift in Griffin. Griffin's grub card. He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stand. Ah, brilliant. I guess you're off then. Good luck on the rest of the scavenger hunt. Thanks, Carlo. Honestly, this is so wholesome that Rollo set a whole freaking scavenger hunt up for us to solve and to mend our friendship. Hey, Griffin. Did Rollo
Before
come?
Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Did Rollo talk to Grang or what? Or is just corn dogs? Are corn dogs the only snack in this town? Oh, that's it. Bought and paid for. Enjoy. I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something. Maybe it's in the corn dog.
Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Yuck. But this guy only says ice cream. True. It's cold. Oh yeah, that's been sitting here for a while. Roland wanted me to be sure to give you that one specifically. Well, that's just...
Luca tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Aha! Oh, come
He
on.
shook off
I
the
kinda
bits of
love
corn
it.
dog to read the slip.
I can pick up when you need some pep. Near the fountain up the step.
Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog.
Ah, okay. This is getting to be a whole thing. Alright. That's why they were talking about Griffin, so I was doing it backwards. Ah. So no Robo Luca made by Perennial Harvest. I'm honestly disappointed. But this is cute as well. But I'm a little disappointed that my whole deep state conspiracy theory didn't go up. Or it only went up in flames. There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine. But Rollo owes me one.
Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task a friendship brings. See? That wasn't so hard. I feel achievement somehow. I think it's sweet. Good luck, Luca. Wasn't there a kite at the treehouse? Okay, no, the balloons and Rollo is here. Hey! Hey! Theory was so funny. Glad you liked it. Hey! Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yeah. Well then, I know it doesn't make up for what I said. But here, you've earned this.
Rollo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Ooh, flight. Oh, we will be able to use that. Oh, we will be able to use flight. Fight or flight? Now we have flight. Thanks. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it. You were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh, sorry. Now you apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. I mean, honestly, you set up a whole cool, cute scavenger hunt in order to apologize, so you win this one. Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened, with your mom and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, you got jealous. I understand that. I kind of freaked out. Rolo. I mean, come on, they're 12, and I really get that fear when you're really tight-knit friends with one person and someone new comes in, especially when you have two boys and a girls. This is like a setup for, hey, one of the boys is gonna fall in love with a girl, and then, you know, being friends as a group, the three of them will be awkward because we will have two people in love and a third wheel, and you know, this is such a common trope that, you know, that kind of ruins a friendship. Still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But I was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay, apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rollo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Oh, Rollo, I don't deserve you. Yes, you do, Luca. You are such a sweet child. But you both fucked up, and it's honestly cool that you both apologized. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try and find some info about your mom. Snoop where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? What if you get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah. The rest of the world can wait 1 more day. I'm really interested to see now. I'm really interested to see now if something like world-ending will happen at the festival. Like it will all blow up or something. And that will be also one end of the story. You know? I have been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC admission control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. No comment on that. That sounds perfect. Oh my god, how the balloons are popping. I'm so fucking convinced that that will give me a charm eventually. One day. Hey, Mr. Kerr. Unique New York. Unique New York. Huh? Oh, don't mind me. Just warming up for my big ceremony speech.
Mr. Kerr pointed to his grinning mouth.
Gotta limber up the old gap box. You nervous? Oh heavens, no. Well, break a leg. Literally. Give me... But I didn't read that. Oh, okay. I can go somewhere else. I love how the balloons are popping around. Boop, 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 boop. Did you hear? After Mr. Kerr gives his big speech, they're gonna have the first annual biggest catch competition. Biggest catch from a dead leg? As long as the boot qualifies as a catch, I'm a shoe-in. Good luck. Since we're here... Still nothing!
Luca gently good for.
Alright. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rollo handed Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you.
That doesn't sound good.
None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it.
Gran?
God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you.
What have you done?
I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
Okay, now I'm really feeling like shit's gonna hit the fan on the Harvest Festival. There you are. What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Rollo.
Luca was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Huh? What was that? Oh man, we missed the fireworks. Not fireworks.
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself. A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene, in a silent treehouse turned statuary. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together for the rest of time.
Yeah, shit hit the fan.
The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it.
I feel it
We are
too.
just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
Alright. We have, of course, another path here. And we can choose flight here now. Okay, I'm indecisive. What path do I want to try?
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Sure, you can meet Rolo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rolo I'd tell him
Luca
about.
stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promised you'd tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you've gotta tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah.
Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate.
So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide! Hey, Mona! That's Eris Valentine. Who's that she's talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned. There's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I'm talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that Rube Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. if there's one thing I've learned, fix the leg, Mona, it's that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady, but that's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
No. Gran? Family. Are you kidding me? What? Okay, how does that make... I was so freaking certain. Okay. Okay.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred.
Okay. We have a couple different people being shady. So Gran had a talk with the lady who runs the diner and the guy who sells the produce. Don't remember the name, sorry. They had some shady talk. Now we have Gran in a hazmat suit. Do I think that Gran is also the one in the old warehouse disposing of bodies and potentially killing Luca? Because like the first ending we got, like the very first ending we got was like basically, okay, we got grabbed by the person in the hazmat suit, and Luca's life is basically over. Do you think Gran would actively harm Luca? Or do we think that it's potentially two different people in hazmat suits with two different objectives, like Gran and, like, I swear the guy who owns the drugstore is again still super shady as well, and I don't think he and Gran are working together.
Vex stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
Well, that is a plot twist. An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night. Chapter 5. What big ears you have.
Little Red Riding Hood says hello.
Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. You were so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit. That was my Gran. That was your Gran? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just go to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. I simply don't want to believe that Gran is evil. I just straight up don't want to believe. I can't go into the woods at... Oh, whoa. No. Quick. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course we're not
The
worried.
clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here, acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. And would you like my internal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Okay, you know what? Let me go back. I want to try something. I cannot. Okay, I wanted to try if I can grab the glowing mushrooms and I can go into the deep dark woods. But I can't. Too bad. Hi, Mr. Nuncrete. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give him a good hard bop right in the kisser. Oh, Grant tells me just to keep away from the clipboards. That's good. That's good. Your Gran is a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, you better run along home now. Too dark to be wandering on your own. Yeah, with only one street lamp every 600 meters. What is too dark? The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure intoned. Are you prepared to live with the truth? That's the question.
We all know Beacon.
Now, for some reason, I just want to check. Maybe sometimes something different. Okay, maybe eventually something different happens. You never know. I better not dilly-dally. Gotta get to a treehouse. Okay. Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, see. Have you noticed how all the perennial harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. I can't wait. I'll go here. Okay, last chance diner is closed. Ooh, Dawn is gone. Dawn is gone. Or like, gone. In a sense. Dawn will be out and about. And looking for information.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely. Kettle's enjoying the memory issues. I love only remembering the most basic things about the plot. Awesome. Couldn't have done it
The mayor
without you.
gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. Reminds me, I wasn't able to thank you, your sister for her contributions. Yes, she has been indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. And we couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. You're darn tootin' he was.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
But I mean the entire Valentine family. Present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all of this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. Not just a festival. All of this. There's gotta be 100 down on their luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yep. Little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. You see potential here? Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge. Honestly, I wonder what's under our feet, and I'm not sure if it needs a nudge. But the right leadership, of course. Oh, and the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. Okay, can't go there. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from there. So, what's your buddy Rollo like? Rollo? He's Rollo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the foul harvest. It's about damn time you tell me what this foul harvest thing is. It's kinda a long story. Let me move the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Oh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things are good. I'm sensing a bit buzz. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. Sharper Valentine and your dad? Around the same time? Interesting. That's new information. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water, or air, or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. Next year, the crops came back, but something was different. You plant the crop, do everything right, and it's sort of crapshoot. And it's sort of a crap shot. What happens? And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rollo's farm got the short end of the stick. Yep. For some reason, their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn initiative? Yep. First thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels on one town over for a week, while they decontaminated the groundwater. We better get going. It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rollo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rollo waggled his head with pride.
You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse-looking piles of junk. Thanks! Hey Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Lavish. I love that picture. Honestly, that was me at 6. Window creaking sound was bad. Well, it's window creaking. Okay, and what now? Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust a new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
There's even more now. So like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters? I don't think so, it seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. And it could have been a woman. How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. Ooh! That's right, Granny's mask wasn't broken. They let go and I ran. Damn. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rollo let out a low whistle.
And they weren't there for idle chit chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your Gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine? Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kinda awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. Solid deduction. And the leader is your Gran and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Oh, that's for sure. Maybe... Your Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months. No, she came a few months back to take care of me. Okay. Alright. New theory. Gran isn't Gran. I mean, we saw from Iggy that the mysterious liquid, greenish glowing hazardous liquid that is flowing around the warehouse ages you. What if Gran ain't Gran? What if Gran is Mom? After his mom went missing, Mom goes missing, Gran shows up. Did you know your Gran before? Not really, no. It's been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way. Are we sure your Gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying... It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your Gran is hiding something. And Pa always says, folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house. If my Gran really is hiding something, don't you think it would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you tomorrow when the coast is clear. And we can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in.
Chapter 6.
Honestly, I'm surprised how smooth this conversation went. Like, Rollo wasn't at all like, hey, you're bringing some new kid here? What the hell? He was like, oh cool, new kid, come on right in.
Secret lair.
Oh yeah.
Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
Also, summer is coming more, but it's getting slower, almost like the big freeze is upon them. Yeah, I was also, same Catilla. I was expecting to be, this is our most secret place, and you just bring a random new kid here? What the hell, dude? But it was like, oh, cool, new kid, coming up. Oh, different sweater. What time is it? Ah, there we go. Favorite sweater time. Yeah, give me a minute. Okay, so this should be the day of the festival again, right? Yeah, chill. Oh, nice. The water's still running. Dude, just chill. Alright. Rollo, what on earth is that? Sherlock Holmes outfit? Ronald Pritchard. Little Sherlock Holmes hat. A ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. Do you need a pipe? And a violin? You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. I love back. Back in her snork. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear? Yep. Whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very, very well. The game is... The game is afoot!
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were a Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Maybe in the room upstairs that's locked up. Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence. He laughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's just what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust your first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. Dude, that fire's been going for 3 days. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat. It may already be too late. Just think of the amount of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yes, we have a locked up room upstairs. That might be the most interesting to check out. Yeah, the closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice. It's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. And I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm going to take this important thing and hug it in the bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? My dog. Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway. I can't reach the
A
latch.
look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
Okay, dog hides. He stays in the bushes all the time. Good boy. Alright, Rollo. This is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
Hey, this is my idea, detective of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let me just yank on this random
As
teacup
Beth
and...
pulled on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Are you fucking kidding me? Seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only two types of people have secret layers. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So, which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. Okay, so more an unhinged conspiracist vibe? Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution, explosive. And jam jars? Jam! We've been delivering jam! That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of what kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? She would have had me walking around town delivering bombs. Right? Only one way to find out.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Oh, don't fucking eat that!
He
Huckleberries.
smacked his lips.
A hint of brown sugar and ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A gran jamgram? It says, last night I used the disguise Ares provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man. Are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, can't be good. So more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. Okay, that now I even more want to go back and deliver the jars in the wrong order. Touching. Give me a charm. I want it.
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town,
Oh, we have the red string.
interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? Cause I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mom's above on here. Yeah, because one of them works for Parental Harvest and the other one works for the Valentines. Both with question marks. Gus Valentine is a question mark. Okay, so Nuncreed is involved. Check. The clipboards are all in it. Gus? Not sure. He seems like kind of an outcast from the family. So not sure how involved he is with the heiress. They don't really seem to get along a lot. I mean, he did. We had that other branch where we had the conversation just before the festival between Gus and the heirs about the hazmat suit that he got her from Parental Harvest, which is the one we saw Gran wearing. I think at least. So he got her that, but he didn't know what or who it was for, what she did with it, and got a very elusive answer. So I don't think it's all too deep into whatever the heiress is. Yeah, so it's really two groups of people. It's the heiress and Gran, and like her, so the heiress and Gran and Mrs. What was it, Fratelli, and the grocery dude owner, and then it's Parental Harvest, Nuncreed, Krell, the clipboards, those kind of guys. Eris has a question mark that's being crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. He said okay, the target. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter.
That's our dad's
For
name.
a long moment, he just stared at it.
It's my dad. Oh, what do we got here? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a
Luca
doctor?
nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. These dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of the preeminent scholar in dense documents. And cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rolo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait.
Rolo's finger traced across the page.
There's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. And why is was his name Wilby back then and now it's Nuncreed? Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rolo scanned through several more pages.
Here! The writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terence's condition follows close behind. Oh no, Joseph, the lab. Okay, sorry, I mixed the names again. Joseph, the lab guy who was supposed to give the results, that's not Creed. Okay. Exasperated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own
Luca,
hands.
staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say
Rolo
next?
rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? What? There has to be
Luca
more.
frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean? Enough is enough. How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit.
Luca slammed the drawer shut. They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool. This looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rolo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't follow that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town. And if we follow
Rolo
it,
carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads right to the treehouse.
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town square. That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rolo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the map, at the end of the path on that map has the symbol as those explosive over there. So, it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer. Rolo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Did it just say gulp? No, I didn't. I gulped. This feels like a gulp kind of moment. Situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was what? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Hello? Oh, that's, I know that silhouette. That's the grocery dude.
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep.
I mean, if you get locked in there, that's gonna be... Oh, but they're in the cellar. What if they get locked down? Okay, because the entrance is now... So the hidden door is revealed because the cabinet's to the side. If he now fixes the cabinet to hide the door, they will be locked into the cellar. And plans will proceed. Shit will hit the fan. The great freeze will happen, but they're currently on the ground. That could save their
As he
asses.
began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump.
Hey, Bella! Awesome news, love it. Yoo-hoo! I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Thump.
I'm just here to help. Just...
Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh? Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly.
Shh, no, don't.
Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know I had that in me. But there was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbed him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tolliver.
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, 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 Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the
The
world?
chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on. Let's just calm down. I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or... Well, let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
No dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth could I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans! What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran? Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good
He
lord.
shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. The source? Source? What's the source? It's
His
where
voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, well, we better not push Mr. Tolliver any farther. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. But yeah, is that really where the town began? I mean, it all began with Sharper Valentine, right? Nah, that time was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about the source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. This is a dang nice library. Thanks. We work hard on it. Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian? Oh, Carlo hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Mrs. Novak sometimes. Then they got you working for free? It's quiet, and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for y'all? We need a favor. I already told you and Rollo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Tank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing we sorted out now. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Grand's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of these asinine death records. Rollo Carter lived a full and wonderful life, till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Who's J. Hartford? Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, was that name back? In the orbit? J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my grand's name. Juniper Hartford. Fake name. Maybe there are 2 J. Hartfords? Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. So Gran died 8 years ago. Dad died 6 years ago. Then a little after that, Mom disappeared and Gran shows up. I'm still 100% certain Gran is Mom. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your Gran is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Alright, gang, I got a close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa is gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. Okay, right, so this is the day that we spent sulking, or that Lucas spent sulking in his room in the other timeline. If your Gran is 6 feet under, 2 towns over, and you give her 3 of your apples, how many apples do you have left? Oh my god. Math these days. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I think of something.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Oh, he gone. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
How could she have missed it? Yeah. What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
A little sound. I'm afraid your jam delivery will be
He
delayed.
flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nung. Oh no, that was the worst one to eat, dude. Oh, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. Well, she would have found him, woken him up. He apparently didn't see who interrogated him. Don't know if he made the right connection. But it's still possible she only knows someone captured him and asked him questions, but not sure who. But she, honestly, that might have concluded it was the kids. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Granted, I think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Before I go to sleep, getting some training in. Like, why the fuck is that down there? Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself.
You shouldn't have eaten that jam.
Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
Just like I said, that was the worst jar to pick. Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Okay, you put us into bed. Rest now, let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him?
Well, she didn't drug you. She put drugs into the jam labeled for Mr. Nuncrete. Why did you have to fucking eat that?
Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncrete?
Because he's probably in deep shit and she tried to drug him so he's unconscious and she can get him out of the way.
Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
To be fair, he doesn't know about Nuncrete. Alright. The festival. Okay. Wait. What timeline are we in? Okay, we go and investigate the warehouse alone. Then we struggled against presumably Nuncrete in the hazmat suit. Escape. Spent the following day delivering jam to 3 people, one of them Nuncrete. We are told to do Nuncrete last. I really want to go back and do him first just to see if that really does anything. Then we meet back, get talked into having dinner at her place. We leave with her to the treehouse. Rollo back and us become friends. We talk about. We also see Gran and the heiress. We talk about all the things we've seen. Investigate the cellar and interrogate. I mean, yeah, of course, in every scenario where Luca blatantly knows that Nuncrete is dangerous, we had the story end. Like here, when you make it a story of change, the story ends. And up here, it also ends with shame. Question is that enough to... So, I mean, it's... Of course, it doesn't know directly about Nuncrete being dangerous, but there's still a lot going on regarding him that is creepy, that is suspicious. that is, you know, go to him last, make sure everyone gets their jars as they're labeled. Alright, the festival. Just looking around, seeing if I can interact with anything. Gran still left the door open. Okay, that is weird. Why is that still open? Of course, Gran like, okay, he's obviously found it. He knows it. Who cares? Fuck it. Oh, I'm so happy doing the lane break. The deer stalker again. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa. Ho, ho. Sly devil. Ooh. Sly. I think she's trying to move him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. Now he is, because he didn't get the jam that's supposed to put him to sleep. Because we ate it? What speech? Major Gus just got up on the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Please let me lean on the railing, please. Is this thing... Yeah, it's on. Hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Yes. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right. Where was
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it from Mayor. What a great turnout. Oh, heck, I didn't prepare anything. Liar. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Didn't prepare anything, my shit. Like, how can someone be so full of bullshit? Like, he's so full of bullshit, it should be flowing out his ears. Music? Community. Conviction, commitment. What's that? All dictionary entries starting with C? These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I'm dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever. Youth conspiracy theory. What are the odds? I mean, we've seen. Yes, I'm giving him the middle finger, and I will continue to do so. Now, Mr. Kerr. We have our theory that Gran is actually Luca's mom, just aged by the strange green hazardous glowing liquid. But you know, a substance that can age someone could also be made in such a way, in theory, that it would be de-aging. I know that's stupid. Could that be? I'm trying to thinking about if it would be possible that Mr. Kerr is actually a rejuvenated Sharper Valentine. We'll see.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment. Change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the fall harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I'm tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was
The
that?
crowd began to look around nervously.
The big freeze. Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. Someone's touching the watermelon again. Not me. 1 hour reaps what they sow. We've all planted a lot of good in this town. And so, it's with a happy heart that I can
He
proclaim,
raised his hands up to the heavens.
and the big freeze. Our harvest awaits!
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything!
Should have stayed in the cellar.
Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
No, we still have a couple more options we can try. Chill.
No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Don't worry, we will. Ooh, we can be the sly detective now. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have two more options here still, being the chill detective or the sly detective, but let's maybe try flight here first.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches.
Okay, just to catch everyone up to speed. This is the scenario where we investigate the warehouse with Rollo together. The next day, Rollo disappeared. We keep the whole the next day. Everyone is panicky looking for him. We are too. And we meet Beck, or we become friends with Beck. We go into the woods together, in the Weepwood, looking for Rollo because that's the last time we saw him. We go deep into the woods to the place with the tree trunk. We have a puddle of the green liquid, and we push Iggy into it when it comes to confrontation. On our way out of the woods, we have Mr. Kerr telling us that Rollo showed up and is at home chilling, which is of course a fucking lie because he's full of shit. And then we wake up, we go home. After that, we go home, we fall asleep, and wake up to the walkie-talkie which we have, sending Morse code again. Morse code that spells danger, and we also catch a signal from Rollo, who has the other walkie-talkie, trying to warn us to actually not go to the treehouse, but we misunderstand him because there's a lot of interference and read it as, hey, go to the treehouse because we have an antenna there and we can get a better signal with it. Circumstances are that Iggy is also hiding in the treehouse because of his mutation that he got from touching the green liquid. The clipboards are now hunting him. Alright, just for catching everyone up to speed, that's the timeline we're in.
He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way. We'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was
ice.
Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
That was actually pretty badass. That is exactly the screen of our house, where Luca's house is, just without the house and completely snowed over. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back to where we came, the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. The crunching of snow. Luca! Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
It's that bozo cur. I hope nothing bad has happened to you in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be
With a
rude.
resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in these woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy. You Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I've never had the honor of meeting a father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
You gotta keep moving. Yeah, and this... Okay, so I'm expecting we'll basically have a mirror of the screams we had before.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. It's basically the same entire screen, just snowed in. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Nah. Still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sides to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. Yeah, this is Beacon Pines. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters out of there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Woodwood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1. Snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Yes, snowball. Welcome to Beacon Pines, I knew
Boy
it.
stared in disbelief at the sign that now
A
clearly
second
read,
town.
Welcome to Beacon Pines.
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? Yeah, what if this is the initial Beacon Pines? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. They probably fought it before. It was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We gotta get you some answers. Let's keep moving. This stuff look familiar to you? Looks like the barrel near the puddle I shoved me into. Yeah.
The fencing listened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Looks like the stuff they put up around Weepwood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, you know, swim, run. Okay, so the great freeze happened before, it's about to happen again. And I mean, they said earlier in another timeline that they got relocated for a week
The crunching of footsteps
after the
turned
foul
Luca
harvest.
went hush.
Looks like they didn't return to the original Beacon Pines back then. Can't even... Yes, you can't even lean on the bridge. What is this game?
He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic anatomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even gonna save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. And yeah, that building here is not perennial harvest. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
For real? Let's just rest for a bit. Just out here in the open, you sure guys?
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over. It's kinda calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sorta froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. No, that's bull hockey. First of all, You didn't know what that gun would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. Well, I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
And Iggy was also asking for it. Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course! Jeez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
Something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rollo are always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect the Luca Van Horn. With his perfect life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked that, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know? Yep.
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh? It must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow, we'll get to the bottom of all this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
You're gonna freeze. Or get caught. Or both. Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad. Dang, Iggy. If that's not the worst day of your life?
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes.
Oh, wait. Why is the doppelganger still clad in the yellow hazmat suit? I mean, technically that's the first time meeting him, because we're in a different timeline now. Just saying.
Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes.
I wish we had visual for that.
The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder.
Okay, at this point I want to point out again that we have the information that Luca's dad, Walter, and Sharper Valentine have died. Both died 6 years ago. Not sure yet if and how these are linked, but it looks like they might be.
What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong.
That's a very black and white view in the
I
world.
could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
And never came back. Who?
A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall.
Hello?
It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Who are you? Get your hands off
Whether
me.
it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We're sleeping, minding our own business. You're the one running around, knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt anybody. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big callous, scarfy naked furball. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. I think temperatures are very low. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Well, that's fucking ominous. Let's go. Great. How about a name? That's a great start. If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a Nat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait! Do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal. We just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough of the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat. We don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood? Or we teleported to some alternative universe? Or this is all just some cruel experiment by Courier's goons? But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here. But the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. But a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate the whole town. Indeed. To pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. Look, if anyone noticed, then it's Green and her buddies. You'd think so, unless the other thing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all, and no one noticed? Yeah, you like I said, we heard on the timeline that they were all moved out of town after the fall harvest. town was supposed to be decontaminated. Like they decontaminated all the groundwater, which was like, how exactly do you do that? What the hell? And then they came back in. Yeah, that's when they moved the town. Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to
Nat
uncover.
narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. What do you say, the source, like that? Why indeed.
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. Like, ironically, a Luca from another branch would love to have this conversation. There's no way they
He
could.
looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy. It's not too late to turn back. If this really is home, then his father is actually buried here. Because they moved like what? They moved like after his dad died, right? Simply head west. We reboot.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time, I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why do you give me this slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide. $259K. Fall of distance, still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who love them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey! Don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Weirdo. Okay, if we see someone dancing like that out of a suit, we know who it is. Here I thought I was a jerk. Yeah, what a jeez with a buzzkill with empathy. True that, Catilla. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves. Hey, dingus! One of Panda's favorite words.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some
Iggy
advice.
gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover. Who ya helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerks comes at ya, acting like your horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah! Kerr and his mere little band of clipboards pulled off the switcheroo for a reason, right? Not mention something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to that precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And if it's too big to smash,
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. You know what? I'm starting to like Iggy. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Locate the source. Alright, we know the source is the place where it all began. Oh look, it can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and convert your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rolo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh heavens, no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Aw, shucks. Now that hurts my feeling. Screw that guy. Yeah, screw him. You can it even looks like, you know, the house was standing here, and then it got, like, I don't know, taken on the truck and pulled away, you know, and driven away. It even looks like that. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So why did you bury it under the tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rolo were doing chores at Rolo's chicken coop. And you guys pissed me off for some reason or
Luca
another.
rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yup. Just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, those were some primal fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop. I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. And all the poor chickens. Rolo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried them under the tree. But when I came back for them later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found them and tossed them.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, Boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. I feel like a million villains said this exact sentence. You have no idea how powerful I am. Prepare for blast off, loser. Chicken Matt, can you imagine permanent harvesting? Make sure they transport the secret fireworks. Oh, well. Oh, look at that. Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. Eh? Okay, no going here.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo! 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 Whoa! I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I don't think they dug that. I think this is it. This is the source? It's a dang hole? How do we smash a hole? Oh, look at there, the loan shark. Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr. Where's Rolo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drat. It's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source, where they collect the unrefined...
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? And you in charge? Oh, heavens no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us. You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
He has that all the time. What the fuck do you mean? It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness. Others destined to die by being flung into a hole. Is that what you're going to tell me? And others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey who's full of bullshit. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not gonna be so winning after we're done with you. Now boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. Oh yeah, we're fucked. There. That's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop! Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you. Regret is one of my specialities. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. That's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. Y'all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What? Like
With
this?
a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Oh. I love that face. Of course. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child! What have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. If you do that, the clipboard will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out the picture. Let's just go and save yourself. If you let's go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. He didn't. Not all that. I mean, a long life compared to someone being 12 years old, but not long. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 20. You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr.
30
Kerr began
40
to
still
hum a
isn't old.
proud melody.
Like, I'm 30. If I would die in 10 years, I would be mad. With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody. Brum dum dum. Whoopity dum dum. Wow. Can you believe this guy? Okay.
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Cool. Just let's go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you? Oh. Vocals? We're having vocals for the first time?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah. I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
I just gained so much respect for Iggy, you cannot believe it. Let me do the right thing for once. Yeah, some pretty big self-reflection. You shouldn't land on I deserve to die. I mean, yeah, it's sad that he lands on I deserve to die, but it's, you know, if you factor in his mutation, the situation they're in, the good it could possibly do, it's really big. It's not pretty, but you know, mad respect, lad. Luca had no choice but to
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
good. The decision was already made,
The two
Catilla.
silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. Ah, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempus liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomably energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side project of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks made the whole freeze over. That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case. Oh, we know what would have happened.
We have
The big
some
freeze.
idea what that would look like.
It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all of this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn. You are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
Yay!
Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Alright. Very nice, by the way. Okay, so this is at least on an ending where Luca dies. We can, of course, refuse Iggy's request.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket.
Honestly, that should be quick because I feel like that will just result in a big freeze. Giving us streaming on a timeline today would have been hilarious. Actual end.
A wild
Yes.
light crept onto Mr. Kerr's face.
And honestly, this is so much fun. I wouldn't mind a sequel one bit, or a series of sequels.
That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away.
The
A
founder?
swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face.
The founder. I mean, the founder should be Sharper Valentine.
The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
See? I made a good choice. Okay. I'm still... Okay, it still haunts me that with that first choice we made to accept Iggy's offer and let them both drop down the pit. At the final text we had some glowing letters. I think it was the Roman number 2 and 2 blank lines, or like 2 lines, and the word charm. I wonder what that's all about. Okay, so the only other place we have other choices is here. So we're back to the branch we were before, where we investigated the warehouse alone, struggled, smashed the person in the hazmat suit with a brick or something, and smashed their mask. Became friends with Beck, and Beck, Rolo, and us are investigating Grant's secret. Okay, we're gonna be a chill cop or the sly cop. You know, let's try being the chill cop first, because that's the charm we already had. Sly is a relatively new one.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
Classic. I'll handle this. Just gotta play it cool. Oh. So this time Luca will handle their interrogation, and I bet when we choose Sly, Beck will be the one interrogating.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell
He
rung.
looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Jacob is pretty funny considering we're dealing with a freezing town. True. Sorry, Mrs. Oliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why do we have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rolo just got a little startled. Rolo's here?
Rolo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. Kids gave old Herm a good scare. Let's just get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rolo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my gran up to? If you'll just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah? So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just... all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town? An archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes?
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives? I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. You kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rolo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
Kids are supposed to question even nice adults' motivation if they start acting in a weird way. Yep. That's a good lad. Oh yeah. This will all make sense in time. He's gonna bolt and lock us up in the basement.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luca. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be brought
He
to...
punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
light. Son of a... Yep, he locks us in. But that might actually save our ass, because the big freeze is gonna happen. We're gonna be in the basement, and I assume we're gonna be safe. And then we can probably get out and investigate the frozen town.
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rolo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here?
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down there. And let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement.
Really? Just nothing? I mean, I guess you could say, but Pexy, the door is locked. How is it just magically going to open once the big freeze happens? Well, Dan could have been an option. Sue me. Why is he dancing quickstep? Is an end of the world to prevent? Shaking my head.
Back to the drawing
That
board.
true. Alright, at least that was quick. Okay. The Sly Cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
Whoa. What's going on here? You're not Modeville girl. Please, call me back. Sorry about all
Mr.
this.
Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect the child? Who would suspect the kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So, it turns out we're both here
Beck
to
twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep. The old girl is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. Okay, guys. No one would ever know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There's one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an old phrase in the Imperial Harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work it out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. But you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf. But all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rollo. Well, sure. But once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered. Could it be cover up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be... Oh, it's an anagram. Nuncrete's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Dude, that was impressive. Rollo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's new drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. We better go to the... Oh, come on. Can I not visit the fake grave of my father? Hello, Missy. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Okay, since we have a couple more charms, let me check. Haha!
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is a hammer...
A picture? It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Look at those two young fools. How did it end up in that? How did it end up in at the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy with his new job at Valentine's. Okay, so Joseph was Mr. Nuncrete, right? What's the new job got to do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. We got all the fish. Well, that's quite a haul. Feels like a good time to pack up. Yeah, I mean, if I'm getting this right, if I'm not confusing people and names again, But I think I remember Joseph was the guy who was supposed to do the lab results, and they said that Joseph was Mr. Concrete, so... just a little bit longer. If things lasted forever, they might not feel as special, huh? I guess. I'll make you a deal, buckaroo. Yeah, and Concrete is drooling off the juniper. Oh, yikes. Who might be Luca's mom? If you ever feel like you need to talk about anything at all, you just say, let's go fishing, and I'll know what you mean. Like a secret password? Yeah, top secret. Neat. Okay. Dang it. I really thought that and the railing here would give me a charm eventually. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down before the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about?
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. Nope. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. Oh, you mean that there's basically 3 places where you can potentially get the chill charm, and wherever is the first one you actually chill at, you get it? Is that your theory, Catilla? That's of course a possibility. To have multiple places where you can get one and the same charm. At least for some of them. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Got it. Was. Excuse me? That was our father's town. He's gone, Eris. And he isn't coming back. Makes sense though, since Chill is the one you need to get past Roxy. And if you have 3 places where you can find it, it's much more likely that players are actually having it until they get there. Because you were wondering last stream what happens if you don't have Chill when you encounter Roxy. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damned backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change, whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future, or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you will always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. Ares has a really cool design too. I mean, all of the characters have awesome designs. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when a villain makes a good point. Alright, what's our current objective? Investigate non-concrete structure. Okay. Sorry. Yes, I like to go to all the other places to see if I can get something else. Find something else, do something else. Gotta select the melon first. Okay, not here. What about the diner? I mean, I'm pretty sure I can't enter it. At this... Yeah, I can go here, but I cannot enter it from sure. Yeah. The thing is, I haven't tried going back into the diner and doing more orders in a while. What's your favorite by that? Out investigating.
Solomon stood
Hey,
proudly
you,
at the
Solomon.
entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nancrete. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on. Licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. But whatever floats your boat. Or maybe Solomon? I had the theory earlier that Sharper Valentine was de-aged by the green goo or something like that. You know, Lucas' mother was aged and came back as Gran, and I had the theory a while ago the Sharper Valentine would be de-aged. I thought maybe Kerr was him, but I mean that's out the window. But what if Solomon is a de-aged Sharper Valentine? Then it would make sense why he had in his will to that the heirs were to adopt some random kiddo. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. And like, he doesn't sound like a 12-year kid. Yeah, I guess. I like sour grapes. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nancrete kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold, hard cash. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Come on, it's gonna be the phone booth, is it? Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nancrete? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
This is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Gren's new drugstore! I mean, underground secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Alright, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great. Now what? I guess
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell.
we had that before.
Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew that there was a strange secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Look, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue 12 were real? I think you said that at some point. I just don't remember if it was in this timeline or not. Rollo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these has something written on them. Okay, the thing is, I am so sorry. It's past 7 and I have to get going. I feel like we're this close to the end and I'm really sorry, but we have to finish it for the day. I'm so sorry. It's the worst place to ever end it. This is the worst place. I'm really sorry. We have to get back to this as soon as possible. And we will also see where this auto saves us. Can I stream tomorrow? Fantastic question. No, not sure. Depends on... Okay, look, I have a little bit of a window between work, like ending work, getting home, and starting my class. But honestly, since we're this close, I might just try my best and come back on live today once I get back from watching Chicago. Since I feel like we only have like half an hour or an hour of the game max left, I feel like I want to do that. Like I wouldn't want to do a stream in the middle of the night that lasts me 4 more hours and I go to bed at 3 and basically don't sleep at all. I wouldn't want to do that. But if it's like only a little bit... What time is that approximately? Well, okay, the show is supposed to end at half past 10. My time zone, it's now a little past 7. And then I need like half an hour to get home, so I would be home at... Oh god, that's still so late. I would be home at 11 and then stream. Late. It would be late, especially for you, Catilla, because I feel like for you it would be midnight. Okay, what do you say? What's better for you? Do it today or do it tomorrow? Honestly, I don't even know if I can do it myself. Because now that I'm doing the math... Okay, honestly, no promises on what I'm gonna do. Just stay tuned. It either... You know what? I'll hit you, Catilla, up on Discord in a DM. Tomorrow's definitely better for you. Okay. I'll think about it. If I... Yeah, you know what? Then I'll rather go for tomorrow because I want to be able to watch this. And it's so horrible that I have to end it. I'm sorry. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I hope you had fun. I definitely had. This is so amazing. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening. See you tomorrow by the latest. Stay safe, stay healthy, gotta run. Love you guys. Bye!
Missing every single fight, taking time to get it right. Man, I don't wanna let you down. Not your responsibility. Protecting my fragility. I'm working on this. Trust me. If I lose, I'm watching me through a haze that can't be me.